Good morning, everybody. The Braves are back. There was an old song in the 70s called The Boys Are Back in Town. I guess we can use this one to be The Braves Are Back in Town, as after taking a slight diversion to take care of the 2017 in-season playoff series between the Cubs and the Nats. Now it's time to get back and finish up the stretch run of the 1987 Atlanta Braves replay. This is game 121. It was played August 20th, 1987 at Fulton County Stadium against the Chicago Cubs. It's the second game of a three-game series, and the previous game was it's the third game of a three-game series, my bad. The first two they split. The Cubs won the first one. The Braves won the last game, which was played on the 19th. So they had a one-game winning streak coming in. Cubs had a one-game losing streak. Went through the checks for game day checks. Chicago came up semi-harmonious, and Manny Trio, a backup infielder, got a small perk of having a good eye this game. So the Cubs will be semi-harmonious. The Braves weren't quite as fortunate. They came up semi-dissonant. It had no effect. So the only thing they're going to carry over is Joe Baver is an icon. Are 52 and 68 after 120 games. And on the mound for the Braves is reliever Jeff Dedman. He was given a spot start by Chuck Tanner. And so I checked with Keith about adjusting his endurance rating since he was a reliever. So what he suggested was give him only 2 innings of freshness to start the game instead of 3, and then just kind of go from there. So that's what we're going to do from there, is just make that one small adjustment. And Jamie Moyer is on the mound for the Cubs. All right, we'll go through the starting lineup relatively quickly here. Dave Martinez will lead off and play center field. Ryan Sandberg is at second, batting second. Rafael Palmeiro is at first base. He will hit third. And cleanup, playing right field. Jerry Mumphrey is in left field, hitting in the 5th position. Keith Moreland is at third base. He will hit 6th. Luis Quinones will bat 7th, play short. Jody Davis is catching, batting 8th. And the pitcher, Jamie Moyer, is batting 9th. For the Braves, they're going with their lefty Moyer. And it'll be Albert Hall to lead things off in center. Paul Runge will be at second. Gary Renicky is in left, hitting third. Dale Murphy is the cleanup hitter, batting 4th and playing right field. Ted Simp 5th. Ozzie Virgil, the catcher, will bat 6th. Jeff at 7th. Glenn Hubbard at 2nd will hit 8th. And the pitcher, Jeff Dedman, will bat 9th. So we are all ready to go. And Jeff Dedman on the hill. Again, he will get just the 2 innings of complete freshness due to the fact that he is a reliever making a spot start. So here's Dave Martinez, and we're underway. 1-2-5. 1-2-5 ask, is the pitcher a struggler? No, Dedman has no pitching qualities. He's completely blank. Is the batter patient? Dave Martinez is not patient, so he will ground to third, but he is a semi-whiffer. Semi-whiffer, Desired says he's a whiffer, so he's actually going to strike out to start the ball game. So Dave Martinez goes down swinging, and I'll bring up Ryan Sandberg. And we get a 1-3-5, so second roll out of the chute is an unusual play. When there's a red 1 and a black 5, that leads to balks and bogeys. So we'll go to the balks and bogeys chart, see what happens. And it's a 2-3 on the balks and bogeys chart. So there's nobody on base. So there's no way to balk when no one's on base, so we just ignore that result. And Sandberg back in the box for his regular at-bat. 2-3-5, and I believe 2-3-5 is talking about the pitcher being wild. And it is. And Jeff Dedman, of course, is not wild. He has no pitching qualities. So he's not wild. The next check is if he's eager. Ryan Sandberg is not eager. So he will ground to second unless he's patient, which he is not. So it's just a ground ball to second. And there's 2 up, 2 down for the Cubs here in the top of the first. Jeff Dedman off to a good start so far. Here's Rafael Palmeiro. 1-2-3. That's flash and fresh. He is fresh, but he doesn't have flash. So instead of a strikeout, it'll be simply a grounder to short, but they'll take it. That's a 1-2-3 top of the first, and the Cubs are down in order. All right, here come the Braves. Jamie Moyer, the lefty, on the mound. We'll be facing switch hitter Albert Hall to start things off. And we get a 3.55. 3.55. Struggler. No, he's a workman, but he's not a struggler. Is the batter a champion? Hall is not a champion, so he will ground to second, and that's out number 1. So we'll ground out to Sandberg for 1 away. That'll bring up Paul Runge. See what Paul Runge can do. To 155. 155. 155 asks, is Runge a home run king? You know what? Paul Runge just happens to be a home run king. So Paul Runge has just taken Jamie Moyer deep. Second batter of the game for the Braves, and they take a 1-0 lead on the Runge solo homer. Runge was a part-time player as an infielder, but he did have power. So he gets the home run. Here's Gary Renicky to 116. That's asking, is he a workman? And he certainly is. We've seen that already. Jamie Moyer is, in fact, a workman. So that 116 workman is a single to left field by Renicky. So Renicky's aboard. That'll bring up Dale Murphy. The Murph, he's been doing well on his power, but his batting average has really dropped. He needs to pick it up here. 336. 336, is he an ace? No, he's not. Is he sad sack, utility, or patient? Murphy is semi-patient. Desiredice says he's patient, so takes a called strike 3. And Murphy's struggles continue. That'll bring up Ted Simmons. Playing first base today for first baseman Perry with a left-hander on the mound. Switch hitting Simmons, 1-2-2. 1-2-2 is, and that's another workman check. So Moyer is a workman. That's a single to center. So Simmons gets the base hit. That will move Renicky up to second base with the lead die of 1. Get a 1-base advancement. And now we go to Ozzie Virgil. So Virgil, chance to drive in some more. So 1-3-5, we're back to balks and bogeys again. That red 1 and black 5. So second time in a row, we're going to balks and bogeys. So balks and bogeys. If there's a balk this time, it will be official because people are on base. But what's the likelihood of me rolling that again? All right, 2-2. So 2-2 on the balks and bogeys sends you, when you get doubles, it sends you to highlight reel B or highlight A or C, depending on what it is. So we're going to highlight reel B, and we'll check and see what highlight reel B has to say. It's a 3-6 on highlight reel B. Base runner here at first. Okay, well, an unusual play. So the batter, it's the third out of the inning. So Ozzie Virgil actually gets credit for a base hit. The ball is going to hit Simmons, so he is out 3 unassisted because the first baseman is the closest player to him. And the inning is over. But the Braves do pick up a run on the Runge homer. And after 1 complete at Fulton County, it's Atlanta 1 and the Cubs nothing. So that's one of those definitely rare events where the batted ball hits a base runner. The batter gets a base hit, but the runner is out. You don't see that happen maybe twice a year at best. And it happened here. And it's the first time it's happened in the 121 games. So it tells you how rare it is. All right, here's Andre Dawson to start the second against Dedman. It's a 4.55, and this is Dedman's last inning to be fully fresh. 4.55. We don't check anything for Dedman because on Dedman's card in his pitching column, it's completely blank. So we can always skip the pitcher column, go straight to the batter column on a 4.55. Ask about a home run king. Well, that's troublesome because Andre Dawson is certainly a home run king. He hit 49 that season. So Dawson has just gone deep and tied the ball game with 1 swing of the bat. So Andre Dawson, solo shot, and we're tied at 1. Brings up Jerry Mumphrey. And I'm getting a message that this thing is buffering a little bit. I don't know what's causing that. Didn't happen to me last night, so I don't know what's going on. Everything's pretty much the same. So hopefully that clears itself up. Flash and Fresh, we already know he's not Flash. He's got no qualities, but it will be a ground ball to short. And Mumphrey is out of there for 1 away. Here's Keith Moreland. Keith Moreland. Moreland, 2-4-6. That's asking about control. And, of course, everything for Dedman is empty or blank. So we go straight to the batter. 2-4-6. Is he eager or sad sack? Keith Moreland is semi-eager, but the sire die says no. So that's going to be a walk. So Keith Moreland will draw a 1-out walk. And that brings up the shortstop, Luis Quinones. switch hitter, batting left. It's a 1-4-5. So we'll see what Quinones has on 1-4-5. Nothing for the batter. It's ground ball to third base, and that's going to be a 5-4-3 double play with the lead die of 1. And that's going to end the second inning, but the Cubs pick up the run on the Andre Dawson blast, and after 1.5, we're tied at 1. And last game's hero, Jeff Blauser, will lead things off against Jamie Moyer. He got the game-winning single in the previous game. It's 1-2-3. This one's flash and fresh. Moyer is semi-flash, but the sire die says no, so it's simply a grounder to short. And there's one away. That'll bring up Glenn Mother Hubbard. 1-5-6 for Hubbard. Is Hubbard a whiffer? Hubbard is scrapper and semi-patient, but he's not a whiffer. So we have outfield drama, our first drama check of the ball game. And in the Cubs outfield, everyone is rated neutral. We get a 1-3 on the outfield drama. 1-3 neutral. Center fielder iron. No, he's not iron, so he will make the catch as Hubbard flies to Martinez in center for out number 2. That brings up, hey there, Mr. Moley, how you doing? That brings up the pitcher, Jeff Dedman. 1-2-3. This time the dot is there, so he does have the flash quality. He is fresh, so it will be a strikeout, and the second inning is in the books. Hey there, Mr. Moley. We just completed 2 innings of play. We're tied at 1 apiece. Home run from Runge for the Braves. Home run from Dawson for the Cubs. For Jeff Dedman is a relief pitcher start, so his freshness has peaked. He's gone his 2 innings. Now he's down to semi-fresh. He doesn't get that third or fourth inning like he would normally get if he was a starter. So here's Jody Davis. It's a 1-2-5, and let's see what it says for Jody Davis because the pitcher spot is blank. Is Jody Davis patient? No, he's not. So he will ground to third unless he's a whiffer. Jody Davis is a semi-whiffer. The sire die says he's a whiffer, so it is a strikeout. So it's one away. Hello, Third Planet. How are you doing? All right, here is the pitcher, Jamie Moyer. He will step to the plate for the first time. 2-3-4. That's plate drama if there are runners on base. There are no runners on base. Is he a hot batter? Certainly not. He's a pitcher. So he will pop it up to third, and there's 2 away. I'm right there with you with the coffee. Got it right here. So I might be sipping. If you hear a sipping sound, it's just me getting a sip of coffee. So it is 10:30 here on the East Coast on my little staycation. And, of course, I slept in a little bit, so I'm still drinking coffee. All right, so 1-5-6 for Dave Martinez, asking, is he a whiffer? Is a semi-whiffer, but the sire die says no, so we have outfield drama for the Braves. And in the outfield for the Braves, Albert Hall is iron. Everyone else is neutral. All right, it's a 3-6. 3-6. 3-6. Left fielder stoic. Well, Gary Renicky just happens to be stoic because he is the left fielder. And Gary Renicky, if we look at Renicky's card, Renicky, in fact, is stoic. So this time, not just the error part, but his lack of foot speed cost him. Because on that 3-6, if you're stoic, the ball gets past you for a single. So it's a base hit for Dave Martinez. And that result was in purple, so we will be going to the chemistry chart for the next at-bat. The Cubs are semi-harmonious. The Braves are semi-dissonant. And Ryan Sandberg, the batter. They're both neutral. So everybody's neutral on the chemistry. 4-6. 4-6 says pitching team dissonance. No, they're not dissonant. They are neutral. If they were, it'd be a walk. Otherwise, it's a line out to third. So Sandberg hit it hard, but right to the third baseman, Runge, to end the top of the third. So nothing doing for the Cubs in the third. And that'll bring up the bottom of the third for Albert Hall, top of the order, against Moyer. So 1-4-5. 1-4-5. Is he a struggler? No, he's a workman, but not a struggler. So therefore, it's going to be a ground ball to third. Ground ball to third, and there's one away. Brings up Paul Runge. He's the one who hit the home run last time up. He got that 1-5-5 roll. Gave him the homer. See what he can do this time. Oh, he just missed it. It's a 1-5-6. And that's asking if he's a whiffer. And unfortunately for Runge, he's a home run king, but he's also a whiffer. So Runge is rung up. So Moyer rung up Runge. And there's 2 away for Gary Renicky, the stoic outfielder. 1-3-5, and we're back to the unusual play. This time it's memorable plays in the field. I'm rolling an awful lot of 1-3-5s, and I don't know why. Don't usually roll that many, but it just happens. So now we've got a 6-6. 6-6 is highlight reel B, so we're back to highlight reel B again. And we'll see what happens on highlight reel B. And we get another 6-6. So that's going to take us to highlight reel C, because highlight reel B, if you get a 6-6, it takes you to highlight reel C. So we'll keep going. To 2-3 on highlight reel C. 2-3, fly out, runner on third, tags up before ball is caught, scores, appealed, strict or respectable, third base umpire rules out. Well, there's nobody on third to worry about, so that doesn't really apply. It only applies if there's a runner on third. So it's simply going to be a fly out, and that's going to end the inning. So that would have been more interesting had there been a runner on third, but there was not. So the inning is over. We've played 3 complete, and we're still tied at 1, and Dedman, still at semi-freshness, is going to keep going. Here's Palmeiro. Rafael Palmeiro. It's a 1-3-4, which I believe is asking about a gold catcher, and it is. And Virgil is not a gold catcher. Is he a champion? Palmeiro is not a champion. He's got, but champion. So it's going to be outfield drama again. And on the outfield drama, again, iron for Albert Hall. Everybody else is neutral. 1-2. I didn't really need the side or die, did I? Okay. Roll out of habit sometimes. 1-2. Right fielder iron. Nope. Murphy's not iron. So he will make the routine fly. And there's 1 away. That'll bring up Andre Dawson. He homered his last time up. And that's what tied the ball game at the time. 2-3-4. Runners on base plate drama. No, they're not. But the next check, if we skip that, because there are no runners on base, the hot batter. Well, he hit a home run his last at bat, makes him semi-hot. Decider says he's hot, so Andre Dawson is going to get a fence check, which means he's going to get a home run, because on the fence check, you have to have a gold outfielder to stop it. The only way you can, I'm sorry, I was thinking a glove check. He's a fence check, but he's a home run king. So as a home run king, unless he rolls a 1, it's going to be a home run. It's a 5, so definitely on the fence check, 5, home run king is a home run. Andre Dawson, 2 home runs in the game, 2 solo shots, 1. And that brings up Jerry Mumphrey. Mumphrey, a 1-4-4. And, of course, again, Dedman has no qualities on his pitching, so we skip him and go straight to the batter column on 1-4-4, which is asking if he's a hero. And Jerry Mumphrey just happens to be a hero, so that's a base hit to right field. Single to right for Mumphrey. 1 out, 1 on, and Keith Moreland the batter. Moreland, a 2-3-4. There are runners on base this time for plate drama, so we will have our plate drama. And Virgil is a neutral catcher. It's a 6-6 on plate drama. And that's asking if he's a control pitcher. No, he is not a control pitcher. So it's a pass ball on Ozzie Virgil. So it's a pass ball charged to Ozzie Virgil. We'll make that note defensively as well. So runner now moves up to second. And Keith Moreland back in the box. It's a 2-3-5. That's asking if Dedman is wild, which he is not. And then the next check is on the batter, which is asking if he's eager. And Keith Moreland is semi-eager. Decider says he's eager. So therefore, he will get a single through the shortstop unless he's a whiffer, which he is not. So that's going to be a base hit. So Keith Moreland, being eager, that time paid off. He got a base hit. Moves Mumphrey to third base because on a lead die of 2, you only get the 1 base advancement unless the runner on second base is active, which Mumphrey is not. He's actually semi-stoic. So runners are at the corners with 1 out. 1 run already in for Luis Quinones, the switch-hitting shortstop. 2-3-6. That's a double control, which Dedman does not have, so it'll be a walk. And that's going to load the bases. And now he becomes a semi-struggler because of the fact he has given up. Hey, Higher Ground, how you doing? You have a blessed day yourself. Enjoy the day, whatever you have planned. All right, so he's going to be a semi-struggler, and so at that point, the Braves are going to go to the bullpen. They got enough out of Dedman as best they can get, and so they're going to bring in converted starter to now reliever Rick Mahler. So Rick Mahler is going to be coming in for Atlanta in relief, and he will be an ace this first at bat, and he's going to need it because the bases are loaded with only one out, and he's facing Jody Davis. So looking for the double play if possible, maybe a strikeout, something like that. Mahler to Davis. So 1-3-5, we're back on the unusual play again, but this time it's the ballpark, which is a 1, black 1. And unfortunately for Mahler, I guess, Fulton County plays semi-small to righties, so this could be troublesome. Could be a grand slam coming up here. You never know. We'll see. It's a 3-6, but it's a normal ballpark. It's not going to be small. But we'll go to the ballpark check and figure out what the final result is on a 3-6. 3-6 on the ballpark. Big ballpark. Bloop double in the gap, right field gap. Otherwise, running grab of a flyout. So it is a flyout, but with a lead die of 3, it's a sacrifice fly. So Jody Davis, we'll say he flew to center. And there's 2 away, but Mumphrey comes in to score. That run is charged to Dedman. And it's a 3-1 Cubs lead. Runners at first and second. 2 outs, and the pitcher, Jamie Moyer, steps to the plate. And we get a 1-6-6. And unfortunately for Mahler, he is a workman. So that was a 6 I knocked the die over. 1-6-6, he is a workman. That's a single to left field. And on a lead die of 1, and there's 2 outs, then that means any runner scores from second on a hit. So that means Moreland will come in to score, even though he's semi-stoic. The fact there are 2 outs is going to give him that extra advantage. He will come in to score. Quinones will stop at second. Third run in for the Cubs. They now lead at 4-1 as even the pitcher, Jamie Moyer, gets a base hit. Here's Dave Martinez. 3-3-5. 3-3-5. Ask, is the pitcher wild? No, he's not. Is the batter a sad sack? Dave Martinez is not a sad sack. So he's going to single to right field himself. And with a lead die of 3, that's going to be, I believe, a 2-base advancement. So that means Quinones is going to score. And Moyer is going to go to third. So the Cubs piling it on here in the top of the 4th as Rick Mahler unable to stop the bleeding. And that result also said if the batter was not stoic, he would steal. Dave Martinez is not stoic, so he will steal second to add insult to injury. So now runners are at second and third with 2 outs for Ryan Sandberg. And Mahler almost getting to be a struggler here. 4-5-6, I think that'll get him out of the inning, hopefully. Is he patient? Ryan Sandberg is not patient, so it's going to be a fly to center, and that's going to finally end the inning. But a 4 spot here in the 4th, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Cubs 5, the Braves 1. That result was in purple, that last out, so we will be going to the chemistry chart for the first at bat of Dale Murphy. And Murphy and the Braves are semi-dissonant. Cubs are semi-harmonious. See what Murphy can do. 2-6. They're definitely dissonant, and the Cubs are harmonious. 2-6. Batting team harmony. No, they're not. So it won't be a single. It'll be a ground out to second, and Murphy is out of there. 1 away for Ted Simmons. Braves trying to rally. Not looking good early. 1-4-6. 1-4-6 for Jamie Moyer. Ask, does he have flash? He's got semi-flash, but the sire die says no. Then it asks, is the batter a champion? Simmons is not, so he will ground to second. And there's 2 away. So 2 quick ground outs to second. Now there's 2 outs, bases empty for Ozzie Virgil. Ozzie like a Virgil. 1-5-6, is he a whiffer? Ozzie Virgil is a semi-whiffer, but the sire die says no, so we're going to outfield drama. And in the Cubs outfield, everyone is neutral. You have 3-5 on the outfield drama. 3-5. Left fielder gold. No, he's not. So the fact that he's not gold, if he was gold, he would make the catch. Otherwise, it's a double. So it's a double for Ozzie Virgil. And that result was in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart for the next at-bat of Jeff Blauser. And again, Braves semi-dissonant, Cubs semi-harmonious. See how this works out. 3-5. 3-5. Pitching team dissonance. No, they're not dissonant. So if it were, it'd give up a single. Otherwise, it's a ground out to the shortstop, Quinones. And that's going to end the 4th inning. So nothing doing for the Braves. We go to the 5th. It is the Cubs 5 and the Braves 1. Rick Mahler in for his 2nd inning of work. Will now be semi-fresh, facing Rafael Palmeiro. Rafael Emerson, Lake and Palmeiro. And another 1-3-5. This one's for the umpires. So we've hit all the unusual checks, and this one goes to the umpires with the bases empty. And we'll see what the umpires have to say. We get a 4-6 on the umpire check. 4-6 says lenient umpire at home. Jerry Davis is semi-lenient. Decide or Die says no, so he's not going to be lenient. If he was lenient, it would be a full count. Visiting batter strikes out, home batter walks. Other umpires strike 3. So since he was a visiting player, he would have struck out anyway. So really in that particular situation, it didn't matter about the umpires because there's another little home field advantage snuck in there. So here's Dawson, and the Braves need all the advantage they can get, losing 5-1. Here's Dawson, 4-6-6. So Dawson on a 4-6-6 check. Mahler's only quality is he's a workman. 4-6-6, he's not wild. Is he a home run king or a slugger? He certainly is a home run king. So this time, instead of a home run, he's going to strike out. So feast or famine for Dawson. There's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down for Jerry Mumphrey. And they're looking for Rick Mahler to eat some innings here in relief. 1-1-2. 1-1-2. Does he have flash? No, he does not. He has said Mumphrey is not. So we got to check with scorer. So this is either going to be a hit or an error, depending on how the scorer calls it on a 1-die roll. It's a 2. So a 2 says that it's a base hit off the glove of the second baseman. So Glenn Hubbard unable to get it, and Mumphrey sneaks it through for a base hit. And that brings up Keith Moreland. Whoa, that went way off camera. 2-4-6 is control check, which Mahler does not have. Does not have that quality. The next check on the 2-4-6 is he eager or sad sack. Moreland is semi-eager, but the side die says no. So that means he's going to walk. So a 2-out walk. 2-out walk. Puts runners at first and second for Luis Quinones. We get a 1-1-6, and that's the workman check again. And again, I'm sorry, 1-1-6 is a freshness check, not the workman check. That's 1-6-6. So 1-1-6, is he fresh? Yes, he is. Desire Die says he is, so it's a strikeout. Boy, what a difference that 1 die made there. And so he ends up striking out the side. Not really known for a strikeout pitcher, but he did it. And we completed the top of the 5th. Score still 5-1 in favor of the Cubs. And that'll bring up Hubbard. Jamie Moyer, again, semi-fresh. Here's Hubbard. 1-2-3. He's not fresh and he's not flash, but it will be a ground out to short. And there's 1 away. And now we're up to the pitcher spot, and Rick Mahler will be pinch hit for. And we'll see who they're going to go to. They don't have many righties on the bench. In fact, they don't have any righties on the bench other than their backup catcher. So they're going to go ahead and go with go with Ken Griffey. So Ken Griffey's going to pinch hit for Rick Mahler. So Mahler gave him 2 innings, or roughly an inning and 2/3, I think it was officially. But the pinch hitting time has come up, and Griffey will pinch hit for Mahler, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. All right. Griffey against Moyer, 2-4-5. 2-4-5. Is he a star? Moyer is not a star. I'm sorry, was it 2-4-5? I read the wrong thing. 2-4-5, not 2-5-5. 2-4-5 is blank for the pitcher. Is he a hero? Ken Griffey happens to be a semi-hero. Desire Die says he's a hero. So that's going to be a base hit to left field. So Ken Griffey comes through with a pinch hit single for the Braves. And now we're back to the top of the order, and Albert Hall. Three, 4, 6 for Hall. or actually for Moyer, but it's blank for the pitcher, so we are checking Hall. Is Hall eager? No, he's not. He will walk, and that results in purple. So that puts runners at first and second with only one out, and we're going to the chemistry chart for the at-bat of Paul Runge. Semi-dissonant Braves, semi-harmonious Cubs. 2-6 on the chemistry chart. 2-6 batting team harmony. No, they're not. If it was, it'd be a single. Otherwise, it's a ground out to second on a lead die of 2. That is the fielder's choice. So Hall is out 4-6. Runge reaches on the fielder's choice. And the pinch hitter Griffey goes over to third. So runners are at the corners. 2 outs for Gary Renicky. He's got the power to get him back in the ball game with one swing. This probably won't do it. 1-4-6. 1-4-6. Does the pitcher have flash? He's got semi-flash. Decider says he has flash. So it is a strikeout to end the bottom of the fifth. And maybe Renicky was swinging for the fences, and that caused the strikeout. So we're going to go to the sixth. And a new pitcher in for the Braves, as Mailer was pinch hit for. So the new pitcher in for the Braves, and with some righties coming up, they're going to go to Joe Baver. So Joe Baver, and Baver is carrying over an icon till further notice perk from previous games. So he'll be an ace this at bat, plus he's an icon. But other qualities on his card are not very good. He's a struggler and a workman. So he's going to need all the help he can get. So Jody Davis will lead things off. He is an ace this at bat, though. 1-1-2, and that might come into play. 1-1-2. Flash. And he does. Joe Baver does have the flash quality. So that is a strikeout. So Jody Davis comes in to face Beaver, or Baver comes in to face Jody Davis and strikes him out. Now we got Jamie Moyer. No sense pinch hitting for him. He's pitching well. 2-4-6. Does he have the control quality? No, he's actually. So then we're going to go to 2-4-6. Is he eager or sad sack? Well, Moyer, you would think on a pitcher hitting card he would be one of those, but he's not. He's semi-utility, but he's not eager or a sad sack. So he's going to end up drawing a walk, of all things. So it's a walk to the pitcher. And now that's going to bring up Dave Martinez. Martinez, a 1-4-5. 1-4-5. Is he a struggler? Yes, he is. So it's a wild pitch. So Baver uncorks a wild one. And that's Martinez still at bat with a runner at second now and one out. And we got a 1-3-3. And a 1-3-3. Is he a slugger? Dave Martinez is not a slugger. So it's simply going to be a fly to left. And there's 2 away. 2 away, runner at second, and that brings up Ryan Sandberg. 256. 256 asks, is he a struggler? Yes, he is. It's a walk. So Baver will walk Sandberg. So he's walked 2 batters and thrown a wild pitch. So he's been all over the place. And here's Rafael Palmeiro. 156 for Palmeiro. Is he a whiffer? Is Palmeiro a whiffer? Palmeiro is not a whiffer. So we have outfield drama. And in the outfield, center fielder Hall is iron. Everybody else is neutral. It's a 5-6. 5-6 for outfield drama. Left fielder iron. No, he's not. Renicky is neutral. So he will make the grab. And that's going to end the top of the 6th. So Joe Baver made it an adventure, but he got through it. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 5-1 Cubs, courtesy of that 4-run 4th inning. And now Dale Murphy will lead things off against Moyer. This is Moyer's last inning to be semi-fresh. So we'll see how that plays out. Murphy had a rough day so far. He struck out and grounded to second, 0 for 2. 2-4-5, and a 2-4-5, I believe it is blank for the pitcher. And it is. And it's asking, is the batter a hero? Dale Murphy, semi-hero, but the sire die says no. So it's a pop out to second, and that results in red. So we will be going to the experience chart. And this is where the Braves will catch a small advantage. Ted Simmons is an icon, and Moyer is a semi-prospect. Well, now Moyer's neutral. But Simmons is still an icon. 4-6. 4-6 on the experience. Icon pitcher. No, he's not. He's neutral. If he was, he would sneak strike 3 past the batter. Otherwise, shot to shallow right, but it's fielded by the first baseman, throws to the pitcher, and the runner is out. So fielded there by Palmeiro, flips over to Moyer for out number 2. Nobody was on base, so nobody can move up. And that'll bring up Ozzie Virgil. Ozzie like a Virgil. 3-3-4. 3-3-4 for Jamie Moyer. Is asking about an ace or a star, and Moyer is none of that. Is he a sad sack? Is he a sad sack? Virgil's not a sad sack, so he will single to left unless he's a whiffer. That little flag there is asking if he's eager. If he's eager, not a whiffer. If he's eager, then he'll end up grounding out. And Virgil's not eager, so the base hit's going to stand. And that's a 2-out single for Jeff Blauser. So Jeff Blauser has a chance to get something going here with 2 outs. Hi, Beatles. How you doing? And it's a 3-3-6 for Blauser. It's asking, is the pitcher an ace? No, he's not. Is sad sack, utility, or patient? And Blauser's base hit to center field. And that's a 2-base advancement. So Virgil will motor over to third. And now that was in red, so we're going to the experience chart. Glenn Hubbard is an icon. And Moyer, again, the semi-prospect. So the Braves catch a break on this with a potential chance. They're neutral. But it's a 4-4, so on that experience, that 4-4, when you roll that 4-4, it's going to be a walk. So walk to Hubbard to load the bases. Bases are loaded with 2 outs, and we're going to have a pinch hitter for Baver. And the pinch hitter is going to be it's going to be Gerald Perry, or first baseman Perry, as I like to call him. So the first baseman Perry will come in and pinch hit, but we wonder if he's going to face Moyer or not, because Moyer is now a semi-struggler. He's already a workman, but he's got a 5-1 lead, so they're going to take the chance. They're going to go ahead and allow him to face Perry, kind of extending him an olive branch to say, all right, we're going to give you one chance. And here it is. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, 5-1 Cubs lead, but the tying run Perry is at the plate. It's a 2-3-6, and that is the double control, which he does not have, so it's a bases loaded walk that will force in a run. And now he becomes a full struggler, and he also becomes a former Cubs pitcher in the ball game because he is going to be lifted, and he's coming out of there. So that's all for Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer is done. They're going to turn to Frank DiPino. So Frank DiPino will be coming in to pitch. He will be an ace this first at bat, and he's going to need it because the bases are loaded still. And he's got to deal with Albert Hall, the leadoff hitter, although Hall is 0 for 2 with a walk. All right, here's Hall against DiPino. So 1-4-6, and 1-4-6 asks, does the pitcher have flash? 1-4-6 is a flash check. DiPino does have flash, so that's going to be a strikeout, and DiPino gets out of a big situation and limits the Braves to just the 1 run. That's charged to Moyer. And at the end of 6, it's Chicago 5 and Atlanta 2, and we're going to need a new pitcher for Atlanta. All right, Beatles, you take care. All right, so the Braves, down 5-2, will turn to their bullpen. And it's going to be Gene Garber. Veteran Gene Garber is coming in. He will be in to start the top of the 7th, facing Andre Dawson, who's already homered twice. However, Garber is an ace this first at-bat. Gets that perk. 1-4-6. 1-4-6 is a one we just had last at bat. It's a flash check. Flash, but the sire die says no. Is the batter a champion? Andre champion. So he's going to ground to second, and that's 1 away. And that's how the top of the 7th gets going. That'll bring up Jerry Mumphrey. Mumphrey 2-5-5, and that's asking, is the pitcher a star, which he is not. Then it asks, is the batter a home run king? Mumphrey is not. He's a slugger, not a home run king. So he will fly to left for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Keith Moreland. Moreland, a 1-3-4. Ask, is the catcher gold? No, he's not. Is the batter a champion? Moreland is not a champion, so we have outfield drama. And Albert Hall is iron. Everyone else is neutral. 2-6 on the outfield drama. 2-6 calls on the center fielder to be stoic. No, he's active. So since he's active, he will make the catch. He might have been iron, but he is active, and he made the catch. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's the Cubs 5 and the Braves 2. Frank DiPino is in for his 2nd inning of work. Even though he only faced 1 batter last inning, is still counted in this game as his 2nd inning of work, so he is semi-fresh. And he'll be facing Paul Runge. Runge, Renicky, and Murphy due up here in the bottom of the 7th. 3-4-4 for DiPino. 3-4-4. Is he a prospect? No, DiPino is actually an icon, or semi-icon. They're patient. Paul Runge is not patient, so he will pop to 2nd. Some of those results in the high up on the book are hard to put on camera the way I have everything set up, so I may just have to start reading them. Here's Renicky. 3-5-5. 3-5-5. He's not a struggler. Is Renicky a champion? Renicky is not a champion, so he will ground to 2nd. He's not a whiffer, so the ground out to 2nd will hold. 2 down for Dale Murphy. Braves running out of innings, running out of outs. Murphy, 2-6-6. He's not the leadoff batter. There's nobody on first. He's not the leadoff batter, so he will fly to right. And that's going to end the 7th for the Braves. We go to the 8th, and it's still 5-2 Cubs. Gene Garber, in his 2nd inning of work, will now be semi-fresh, facing Luis Quinones. And we get a pinch hitter for DiPino because we're coming up on his spot in the order. 1-1-5. 1-1-5. Is he fresh? Yes, he is. The side die says he is. So it's a pop out to the infielder of our choice. We'll say Quinones pops up to, Simmons at first. So there's 1 away. And that will bring up the catcher, Jody Davis. Jody Davis eyes. 3-6-6. And 3-6-6 asks, is he a pinch hitter, which he is not. So he will end up flying to center. And that's going to be out number 2. And now we'll get a pinch hitter. And we might as well use Trio because he got the perk of having a good eye. So we're going to go ahead and use Trio because he may not get a chance to bat otherwise. And the perk only lasts this game. So Trio is going to come in and pinch hit for the Cubs. There's 2 out spaces empty. If there was people on base, I'd probably bring in Leon Durham. But since his base is empty and they got a 3-run lead, we're just going to let Trio pinch hit for DiPino. So Manny Trio does carry the good eye as a 1-game perk in this pinch hit at bat against Garber. 2-3-4. 2-3-4 is plate drama, which there's nobody on base to have plate drama. He's not a hot batter, so he will pop to 3rd, and so much for Manny Trio. All right, so Manny Trio pops to 3rd to end the 8th. All right, so now we need a new pitcher for the Cubs, and it will be right-hander Ed Lynch. So Ed Lynch is on. They're not going to use Lee Smith unless they get in trouble and the game gets closer. They're going to see if they can get 1 inning out of Lynch, and if it's still a 3-run game, they'll bring in Lee Smith. All right, here's Ted Simmons to lead things off. Ted Simmons. He's going to lead off against Lynch. Lynch is an ace. 1-4-5. 1-4-5. Not a struggler. He's a semi-struggler, but the side die says no. So it's going to be a ground ball to 3rd. And Simmons is out of there, 1 away. Actually, a ground ball to 1st since he's batting left-handed. Or here's Ozzie Virgil. 2-3-4. There are nobody for plate drama. There's nobody on base. Is he a hot batter? Ozzie Virgil got a single last time up, so he's a hot batter, and we will have a fence check based on that. So Ozzie Virgil, as a home run king, might get something here on this fence check. It's a 5 as a home run king. That's a home run. So a home run for Ozzie Virgil. Home run. Sorry about that. To fix something real quick on this stand. It's I bumped into it. Now I can't get it to settle in. Hopefully that works now. But Ozzie Virgil settled in quite nicely with a home run on the Finch check. Cuts the lead to 5-3, and now Lee Smith is loosening in the Cubs bullpen. That'll bring up Jeff Blauser. Blauser 4-4-5. And we'll see what Lynch has on a 4-4-5. Is he a workman? No, he's a semi-struggler. He's not a workman. Is he pitched ground to first? And there are 2 away. 2 down, and it's Glenn Hubbard time. So Glenn Hubbard steps to the plate. And it's the same roll again, 4-4-5. We just had that roll. Is he patient? Glenn Hubbard is semi-patient, but the sire die says no. So it's another ground out to first, and the inning is over. But the home run by Virgil cuts it to a 5-3 lead. We go to the top of the 9th. Gene Garber's still in there. He's in there for his 3rd inning of work. And here's Dave Martinez to lead things off. 3-6-6. 3-6-6. He's not a pinch hitter, so it's going to fly to center. And there's 1 away. Yes, the umpires, 3 of the umpires for this game were home created by me, and they were printed off on regular paper, not cardstock. So Eric Gregg is the only official umpire in this game from the set. The other 3 I had to create because I wanted to use actual umpires from the game, the real umpires that called the game. So yes, they are definitely secondhand. All right, so 1-5-5, that could be trouble because 1-5-5 asks if he's a home run king. Fortunately for the Braves, Sandberg's only a semi-slugger, not a home run king, so he will fly to center. And there's 2 away. So 2 up, 2 down. Garber has given him 3 good innings, or just about 3 good innings. Really saved that bullpen. So 3-6-6. I'm rolling the same things over and over for some reason, and that's another fly out to center. So Albert Hall took all 3 putouts. And we're going to go to the 9th, and that means Lee Smith time. So Lee Smith will be coming on to try to close things out for the Cubs. Lee Smith, he is a star. He has flash and semi-control, and he will be an ace on this at-bat. All right, so he's going to face a pinch hitter for the pitcher. So Garber gave him 3 innings. He's coming out, and we got to figure out who's going to pinch hit here. We've already used Griffey and Perry, so we're going to use Deion James. So Deion James will be the pinch hitter for Garber here in the 9th, and he's going to be facing, he gets the privilege of facing Lee Smith, a fresh Lee Smith, who is an ace on this at-bat. So Deion James against Lee Smith, 3-5-5. Is he a struggler? No. Is James a champion? The only quality Deion James has is a semi-champion. Desiredeye says he's a champion. So therefore it's a double to left field for Deion James. So Deion James comes through in a big way with a pinch hit double to try to get something started for the Braves. Albert Hall is a scheduled batter, but he's going to be called back. And Greg Nettles is going to come on to pinch hit for Albert Hall. They want some pop in there, so Greg Nettles is going to pinch hit for Albert Hall as Chuck Tanner trying to pull out all the stops and get some power in there. So Nettles, with runner at second and nobody out, facing Lee Smith. 2-5-5. 2-5-5. Is the pitcher a star? Yes, he is. Lee Smith is a star, so it is a strikeout. So Nettles fails in the pinch hitting duties. That brings up Paul Runge. He's already got a home run in this game. Could he do it again? 2-2-6. That's a hit by pitch. Desiredeye says he's hit by a pitch. So that's going to put the tying run to the plate in Gary Renicky, and then Murphy behind him. So either one of those could go deep and tie the ball game. That's the possibility. They could also strike out twice. So we'll see what happens here against Lee Smith. 1-2-6. That's a freshness check. That's a line out to second for out number 2. And unfortunately for the Braves, when you line out to occupied base, the Desiredeye, if it's a dot, means he gets doubled off. So that means James, not paying attention, gets doubled off 4 unassisted. Sandberg makes the play, and the ball game is over. So we didn't get a chance to see Murphy come up and see what he could do, but didn't get the chance because of the issues of Deion James getting strain off the base. So, unfortunately for the Braves, that's how it ends. 5-3 the final for the Cubs, 5-3 over the Braves. And just for curiosity's sake, I'll go ahead and roll Murphy's. It doesn't count because the game's over, but in case Murphy was still batting, we'll just see what would have happened. 1-2-5 would have been a struggler check for Smith, which he is not. Patient check for Murphy. He is semi-patient. He is not. So he would have grounded to third anyway, and the game would have been over. So even without the double play line out, the game would have been over. So that's just the way it works for the Braves. They fall. And they fall to 52-69 on the season. And this is game 121 in the books. We have exactly 40 games to go, or maybe 39 games now because they played 161 in real life. So, and I've got to check the schedule. I don't know if this was the final game of the series with the Cubs or whether they third plan. When I read the rule book, it said, best I could tell, it said that if he's occupied base, he gets thrown out. Get the rule book out. I've got it handy. Don't usually have to refer to it too much, but in this case, let's see if I can get it to where I can find that part in the rule book. That's another thing, is finding the part in the rule book. I got to find out where that part would even be. Oh, here it is. Line out into double play. It's like the next to last page of the rule book. Line out into double play. When the game book reading indicates a line out and infielder whose base is occupied by a base runner, roll the decider die. If it's a bullet, the runner is able to get back, and the infielder is credited with the double play. So the fact that it was a decider die was a dot, that meant it was a double play. Didn't really matter about the qualities of the base runner. It's just the rule. It's in that book that says the decider die determines everything on that. So that's what caused that double play to happen. It was unfortunate, but it really didn't matter because the next batter, when we had that mock at bat, Murphy lined out anyway, or grounded out anyway, so the game is over. Winning pitcher on the game is Jamie Moyer. The loser is Jeff Dedman. And the save goes to Lee Smith. So, I got some messages on the phone as I was recording that it was kind of buffering a little bit. I hope that wasn't too bad of the case, because I know when that happens sometimes. Mr. Moley, let's see. Does it say it's an optional rule, or does it say it's a rule? Let's see here. I think it's an optional rule because it's in the back of the book. That's a good question. I think it's an optional rule. Let's see here. Or an advanced rule, if you want to call it that. Let's see, is this under... Yes, it's under advanced options. So it's under advanced options. There's a spot here toward the back that's called advanced options. So yes, if you didn't want to play it that way, you could just ignore that result and just take the one line out as an out. But I try to play it as advanced as possible. So that's why I played it that way. But like I said, that's the good thing about this game. You can kind of personalize it to your own taste. The only thing I try to do is be consistent. So since I've been playing the Braves season, I try not to use any manager cards, and I try to play it as advanced as possible. When I play other seasons or other teams in this game, I will use the manager cards. I will do maybe some different things. But since I started Atlanta's season in a particular way, I want to finish it that way just to be consistent. So that's just my little house rules on how I'm playing these here. So that's it from Fulton County Stadium. Unfortunately, if you're a Braves fan, unfortunately, if you're a Cubs fan, it's good. But the Cubs win it by the score of 5-3. And player of the game, Andre Dawson, had 2 home runs. And that kind of put them ahead early and set the tone, and they finished it off from there. And there wasn't much the Braves could do. They did rally. They were down 5-1. They did rally to 5-3, but didn't quite make it back far enough. And that's the ball game. So again, the Braves fall to 52-69. Their modest 1-game winning streak is over. And we'll look at the schedule to see where they're going next. But that's game 121 in the books. It was played August 20th, 1987. Next game, of course, will be game 122. And I don't know if it's against the Cubs or whether a new team is coming to Fulton County. We'll have to check the schedule, see what happens. But I've got to update some stats and get these up online. And what I'll probably do is once I get to game 125, or what I may do is finish the month of August and make it to September 1st before I start playing games. We'll do a small video on the stats that have been updated over the first months of the season leading up to September 1st. So, when next? Well, probably sometime this afternoon I'm going to do something. It may not be History Maker. It may be Payoff Pitch. It may be Replay. It might be Strat, because we're doing an Espo Strat. And I've got a second game to play, which is the Tigers and the Angels from 1967. So that could be a possibility. But probably, maybe 3 hours from now, something along those lines. Just whenever I get the right timing to do it and get everything all set up, then we will get going. So until next time, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, hopefully the video wasn't as choppy as I'm thinking it might have been with this buffering, but we never know. Till next time, that's it from Fulton County Stadium. Again, the Braves lose at 5-3. They fall to 52-69, and they will continue on with the season in the next ball game. So until next time, you guys have a great day, and I will see you all down the road.